In today's music industry, the rules for staying relevant seem simple. Be everywhere, post constantly, do interviews, engage with your fans 24/7. But there's one artist who completely breaks all those rules and has more influence than almost anyone else. He's an artist who can sell out global tours but barely performs his own lyrics. He dictates fashion trends by disappearing for months at a time. He can release an album that gets called trash by half the internet, only for it to become one of the most influential records of the decade. None of this makes sense under the normal rules of fame, so how does he do it? I've watched his entire career, and I'm here to give you my straightforward analysis. The relationship he has with his fans isn't normal. The only way to explain this level of devotion is to call it what it is: a cult. And I'm going to break down my evidence for you, piece by piece. First, let's look at his public presence or lack thereof. Carti is intentionally inaccessible. He doesn't do typical interviews. His social media is either completely inactive for months, or it's filled with cryptic one-word posts. From my perspective, this isn't just him being a private person, it's a strategy. By making himself scarce, he creates a huge demand for any information about him. A blurry photo or a 30-second song snippet becomes a major news event for his fans. This distance doesn't push them away, it makes them more obsessed. They have to actively seek him out, which creates a much stronger bond than if he was accessible all the time. Next, look at the visual identity of his fan base. It's one of the most obvious signs for me. Carti didn't just have a cool style, he created a uniform. After Whole Lotta Red, the Vamp aesthetic took over. All black clothes, designer brands like Rick Owens, a very specific dark look. Now you see the same thing with his Opium label. It's created a global community where fans can instantly recognize each other. It's more than just fashion, it's a visual signal that you are part of the in-group. It's a way of belonging, and that's a key part of how these loyal communities function. Now let's talk about the music itself. I see his major albums as a kind of test for his followers. They are not easy, commercial-friendly records. When Whole Lotta Red dropped in 2020, its aggressive, abrasive sound was hated by many mainstream listeners, but his core fans didn't abandon it. They defended it fiercely, arguing it was ahead of its time, and they were right. This created a strong us versus them dynamic. It filters out the casual listeners. If you don't get the music, you're on the outside. If you do, your position as a true fan is solidified. He did the same thing with the release of Music in 2025, another long, challenging project that was polarizing but intensely loved by his base. Finally, there are the shared experiences that bond the community. I see his live shows as a ritual. The energy is insane. The crowd screams every ad-lib, creating an experience that has very little to do with a typical concert performance. The album rollouts are their own kind of ritual. The long waits, 2, 3, even 4 years between projects, are legendary. These waiting periods test a fan's loyalty. Those who stick around through the fake release dates and the long stretches of silence feel a sense of shared struggle and ultimately a massive sense of reward when the music finally drops. It's a process that intentionally weeds out anyone who isn't completely dedicated. So when I look at the evidence, a leader who stays out of reach, a unified aesthetic that acts as a uniform, music that functions as a loyalty test, and shared experiences that bond the most dedicated fans, it all points in one direction. He has built one of the most fascinating and powerful followings in modern culture, not by following the rules but by creating his own. And from my point of view, the most accurate word for what he's created is without a doubt a cult.